Hi guys, this is Carlos again. Welcome to my office. Do you receive on a regular basis, sometimes every day, sometimes every other day, sometimes several times a day, these phone calls of people offering you these loans that they will send you cash and so on? Probably, right? The reality is that they're not all scammers. Many of these are real loans. But hang tight. Wait a second before you rush and get one of these loans. Let's look at what they will do to your company. Before we get started, I want to share something with you. I'm a little bit upset. A few minutes ago, probably half an hour, 1 hour ago, I received a phone call from a lady that had actually borrowed not one, not two, not three, but 4 different loans like these. And she was crying off the phone and very upset. I tried to help her. We did everything I could. I took some notes of our conversation, and that's actually what I want to share with you. And the best way to look at this is I'm going to make the parallel with a family income before we look into what happens to a company. So this family has an income of $10,000 a month, whatever the number might be. We're just using that as a hypothetical, and expenses for $10,000. And look what they have on a weekly basis. They have $2,500 of expenses every week, and so they're kind of breaking even. And their payroll, their paycheck comes in $5,000 here, and another $5,000 here. So they break even. You say no big deal. They don't make a profit. They might not be saving for retirement in this example, but at least they're breaking even. Now here's the trick. They do have $2,500 of expenses before they get their paycheck. So they do have, this family has a cash flow situation, not an economic situation, because at the end of the day they break even, but they do have a cash flow because they need to be able to upfront this money before they get their paycheck. So that poses a situation. They get one of these loans, and let me tell you, here's what the loan looks like. It's no big deal. So they think that with $5,000 in cash, that's going to work out. So they get cash for $5,000. Now, this particular loan says that they give you cash for $5,000, but you owe $7,000. The term of this loan is 6 months. Remember, the months have 20 days because there are 20 working days. So what they do, what the lender does, is they give you $5,000 in cash. You actually owe $7,000, and every day of the month of 20 days over 6 months, they withdraw daily $58. So the husband and wife actually get together and say, actually it's 58.3 so that we get the numbers right. Husband and wife get together and say, we're getting the money, we're going to make it. If we get $5,000, we're going to make it till our first paycheck, and that will work fine. And who cannot afford $58 a day, right? No big deal. So here's what happened. Pull out your calculator. The term is 6 months, okay? Let's see what happens after just 3 months. After 3 months, the lender withdrawing $58 a day will have withdrawn $3,500 after 3 months. Now wait a second. We had originally $5,000. They took away $3,500. So how much do we have left? We have left only 1,500 of the original 5. Okay? Now we're sucking air because we cannot make it to the paycheck. So what does the lender do? Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll give you another loan. So they give them another loan. This keeps on repeating itself over and over. Now, notice that every time they get a loan, they lose $2,000. That gets rolled into the next loan. If every 3 months they lose $2,000 times 4, that is $8,000 in a year. And they're sinking deeper and deeper into despair. And that is the situation that this lady was finding herself. But the reality is that she had a company. So companies work slightly different, but exactly the same. Let's see how that works. Let's add just a few zeros. Income, $100,000. I'm just adding 4 zeros. Expenses, also $100,000 a month. Let's say that this company is absolutely breaking even, so we're not going to complicate it with profit and loss and so on. Okay? In the same situation, they have to meet payroll, pay vendors, etc., and they don't collect for... Now, if we want to make the parallel with this company, we would say that they collect their receivables every 2 weeks. But you and I know that that is not necessarily correct. You and I know that if it's a widget manufacturer, they produce the product and then they won't collect for 45 days, which is even worse. Okay? But let's assume that they collect every 2 weeks. They have cash, they receive cash for $50,000. They get a loan. The loan is actually for $70,000. Just adding 4 zeros here. So they're losing $20,000 every 3 months. So that is $80,000 per year. The withdrawals are roughly, let's call it $600 per day. If one of these lenders calls you and say, don't worry, it's just we'll give you $50,000, wouldn't $50,000 solve your problems? And you go like, wow, yeah, it really would be very, very helpful. We're just going to take, $500, $600 a day, and you can get $50,000. This will take away equity from your company to the tune of $80,000 a year. I want you to be aware of that if you do decide to take one of these loans. As I discussed in other videos, sometimes you have to do it. Let's say that a piece of machinery breaks and you just absolutely need to deliver. Well, then you have to do it. But make sure that you pay it off immediately. If you use this kind of loan to subsidize, to pay for your ongoing working capital, it is going to eat away all the equity of your business. In our next video, I'm going to show you in very, very simple diagram how that works. Please bear this in mind. If you do decide to get one of these loans, it's eating away from your equity. Very, very, very dangerous. I have here a contract from a real actual contract. You see how I blacked out all the names and everything. And I want to go through in one of our next videos all the clauses that they have that are just unbelievable. Did you know that if you miss just one of these payments, according to the contract, and they will do it, they have the right to go to the landlord, ask for the keys of your business, and take over the business. All I can tell you is this lady was crying today over the phone, and that affected me personally, and I just wanted to rush to tell you about it. So if you need to do this, at least you know what you're doing. Leave me your comments. I'm very interested in what you have to say about all this. I'm very interested in exchanging ideas with you as to if you had any experience with these loans. And make sure to subscribe to my channel so I can continue sending you information for free. And most importantly, remember, if you take control of your cash flow, you're free of stress and you can grow your business. Thank you so much. Take care.